guys, so if you guys remember from the last video, we bought that first gen dually single cab and we just got her pulled in the shop. We're gonna do some well needed changes and clean her up a little bit, and stay tuned to the end of the video. There's definitely gonna be a build on this truck, but not yet. But we definitely get a major start to it, so let's flash into that.
All right, so we got the first gen pulled in the shop. We've been just working on it for a little while now. We pulled the seats out just now. Peyton's in there cleaning up on the carpet and everything. We got the bench seat out, and then carpets are getting cleaned up, rewiring some speaker wires and everything like that. They had it kind of jigabooed in there, so we're gonna fix all that and then get it all detailed up on the inside. Other than the seats, the interior was almost perfect. It was not in bad shape at all, other than the seat. And the seat just had a pretty good rip in the driver's seat, like they always do. So I have one though that is in mint shape, so we're going to be taking it out of my cab out back and throwing it in this, and it's already a red one too that will match perfectly. So we will be able to make this interior completely mint in this truck, and then we'll be able to try to find some dually fenders. So if any of you have the first gen dually fenders, let me know. I'm desperately looking for some because there's a hole on this project until we find some. These are busted up. My driver's side's salvageable. I'm probably going to run with it unless I find a good pair. This one just has one little crack in it. I can definitely work with that. This, I ain't good enough of fiberglass to fix that, so we're just gonna get a complete new dually fender. Then this fender's kind of messed up on the front. It's tweaked, so throw a new fender on it. Other than that, it's pretty straight. We're gonna have to do a little body work, but the goal is to minimize the body work and try to, I might swap the bed, put a completely different bed on it just to avoid, because the bed's pretty dinged up. So just trying to make it easy on ourselves. So yeah, just keep following along. All right, so we currently got the carpet clipped up on the door to hold it up. No pressure washing it. We've got some major stains, which I know this ain't gonna come out, but we're hoping to get that kind of stuff out with the pressure washer. It's looking good though. I mean, y'all should have seen what it looked like before. It's 10 times better now.
Leaving the mall, we just got a couple goodies picked up for the first gen. We're about to head back to the shop. We're not going to show you what we got yet. We'll wait till we get them on. Wait till we get it on the truck. But we'll see you guys when we get to the shop. So we got the old headliner here. I'm gonna gently pull this old fabric off the headliner board, so that way we don't damage it because it's old and brittle. So we're gonna set up time lapse, and I'm gonna get ready to start pulling that apart.
All right, everybody, so we got the first gen back in. We got the interior all cleaned up, and then I realized that I had the spare doors to go back to power window. Right now they're crank window, and I wanted to go to the, I really prefer a crank window in a first gen, but I want my power mirrors, and I like the newer style mirrors better. So we're swapping the doors back out to the original ones on this truck. The reason they took them off is the glass got knocked out of that door, so we're gonna have to pull the glass out of one of the doors that's on the truck and put it on here, or put it in the new door that we're putting on, and then swap the doors back around. So I'll have power windows, power mirrors, everything. So, and we got everything pulled out of these doors, the whole harness and everything like that. We currently have already swapped the seat and everything, like I was saying. We got this interior almost mint. We rewrapped the headliner, everything like that.
We ended up finding all the pieces out of a donor truck to finish all of your side
They got
piecing.
cracks in them and stuff, but if you're into first gens, y'all know how hard this stuff is to find in perfect shape. A good set of plastics can go for $1,000 just for the headliner. And then when I bought the truck, it had a gray.
It had a gray glove box, but we had a red one in a parts truck, so
we replaced that. That looks so much better.
We also power washed the absolute crap out of the.
Yeah,
there was so much cow shit and manure in the driver's side floorboard of this,
and we got it looking pretty good now.
Yeah,
that ain't dirt. That's actually just where the carpet's been worn down.
But I mean, I power washed on this carpet for a good hour and a half just to get it to where it looks the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did a good job on it.
I mean, we extracted a lot of it as well. Like, we had dumped the extractor and shampooer out like 5-6 times just because it was pulling like black, dirty water out of this carpet.
Yeah, and so we swapped the seat. I had a donor truck sitting out back. It ain't perfect. But it's in really good shape for a first gen seat. We're gonna try to hand sew that back together. Here is what the old one looked like, and we swapped the tailgate because this one was pretty beat up, and I already had one laying around. Funny enough, it was already even though we're painted, it don't matter, but it's already the same color, and this tailgate is mint. I'm actually going to be pulling this bumper off and putting it on my patina first gen and putting a roll paint on this when we go to paint it. But here is the before and after on these seats. This seat was roached. So I had this seat sitting out back in a parts truck. So we put it in, one little small imperfection in it, but I mean, this interior is coming together awesome. All right, so we got this door off. We're going to be, the truck has the original doors, but like I said, they took them off because the window was knocked out. And I have a cab out back that's actually already the red color. It don't matter, but we're painting it anyway, but it's just kind of neat. But the reason I stopped the time lapse is the door pins they're not bad, but they're not great. And so they're cheap, easy to do right now, so I'm gonna change the door pins. I'm gonna run over to O'Reilly's, and then, like I said, so I don't have to worry about swapping the window, window out of that door and all that. I have my new cab, and the window's in it. Better watch out, Mr. Spider will get you. But it's still got the window in it, so we're gonna take this door, and the passenger door still has the window, the original door, the window's good in it, so we're gonna put it on the driver or the passenger side, and then I'll set up a time lapse. I'm gonna run to O'Reilly's, and he's gonna get this door off. Alright, so we came over to O'Reilly's. We got the new door pins. So we wanted to do that while we had the doors off. They had not very much play, but if you don't do it while they're not horribly blown out, because if you just keep running them and run them and run them forever, eventually it'll wear the hinges out, and then you got to replace the hinges as well. which first gen stuff's already hard to come by. So when you can prevent stuff from breaking, you definitely want to, you know, do that. So shout out to O'Reilly's. They take all my money. So we're going to get back to the shop. We're going to probably grab some grub on our way back, but it's going to be a good evening getting the doors on, hopefully tonight. And then we'll probably call it a night after we get the doors on. And then tomorrow, I don't know what we got planned. So I guess keep following along.
All right, so we made it back from O'Reilly's. We are currently trying to get the door pins out so that way we can replace them and get them done right.
You can go, baby. So we got our new door pins over here. That pin's worn out. It's the same though, so that's good. That bushing in there, and now we got to figure out how to get these out.
The bushings.
Still stuck in there.
Starting to move. Here, now hammer this in there.
Good idea.
Sweet. Now for the bottom one.
Let's see how blown out this still is. No, it fits in good. Perfect. So now we got to get this bottom one out.
Do it the same exact way.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot of people.
There you go.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot of people complaining about using a knife like that, but
sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
exactly. These babies are stuck in here now. There you go. Now grab our new bushing. Perfect. They're reasonably tight. I might put some electrical tape on them. So sometimes you'll get these trucks and you can use Teflon tape or electrical tape, but you'll have to wrap once or twice around these bushings just because the hinge is over time worn out. And so you got to build a little bit of a gap that you might have to fill. So just I normally use Teflon tape. It works pretty good. Or you can use electrical tape like I am here. It'll just kind of help it seat in there, make everything tighter. Done. And now, take your pin. Let's see, does it go? Where does it go? That's how you know you got it tight. When you you're fighting to get it to go on. That almost was a bad deal. That's tight. We're not gonna have to worry about playing that no more, so I'm pretty happy with that. This is the before and after. No play whatsoever. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of times your hinges will be so blown out. Not so bad on any other truck, but second gens in particular, I've had hundreds of them where the hinges are so blown out. And just put a little Teflon or electrical tape on there, and I mean, it ain't a permanent fix. You really need new hinges, but to get you by to where it's pretty solid, it will get you by. These weren't even that bad. I just did one round with the electrical tape, and it really makes it seat in there, and ain't gotta worry about it wobbling around. So. All right, so we got the new door bushings put in, both top and bottom. Had quite the challenge with the bottom one, and I got it. It's still got a little play in it. I had to use quite a bit of tape, and I don't know, it ain't right, but I'm not real sure. It really needs drilled out, but I don't have the right size drill bit, and it's 9 o'clock at night, and so I can't get a drill bit, so I'm just gonna make that work. It's a lot better than it was, though. I mean, as you can see, it don't have any up and down play, and this one's perfect, like no play at all. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the door in. We'll throw it on time lapse, and then go from there. So yeah. All right, so somehow the footage of the time lapse got deleted. I'm not really sure, it didn't record right. So we already got the door on. It's not adjusted yet. We got to get the wiring harness shoved through, and that's kind of taking a little bit because we got aftermarket speaker wires going through. So we're getting them wired into the factory grommets and everything like that, and then we'll have the door adjusted, and then we're gonna try to get the power windows. Hopefully they work if the motors are good. If not, I can order some in at O'Reilly's. They're about $100 a piece, 100 per side. So have $200 just in window motors to get the power windows to work. If not, I got a parts door here that I might be able to pull the motor out of, but I'll probably just order new. That way I ain't got to worry about it. These first gens have pretty well known problem with the windows not working, so I'd like to just take it out while we're in here. Probably put new window motors in if these don't work. But yeah, then since I couldn't get this door on time lapse, we'll probably get the other one, the passenger side. When we're taking it off, we'll get a time lapse of it and putting the new one on and everything. So yeah, it's looking good though. So we ran into a little hiccup. We were testing the power windows before we get it all shoved through properly, and they weren't working at all. The window motor ain't even activating. Well, I found this broken wire, and then I held it up to ground. Then they start working. But now we got our second problem. We're getting the motors working, but the window ain't moving. I'm gonna make sure our power mirrors were gonna work. So they are working with the deal. No wiring issues there. So good news there. All right, so we've been trying to figure out why we'd hear the window motor working. So we didn't think the window motor was bad, but go ahead and hit it. So we were hearing it working. It's working, but look. So I'd say it's messed up. Any pressure on it, like I barely even put my finger there and it stops it. So diagnosis, bad window motor. All right, so we got the window motor put in. Now we're just gonna, it's kind of slow right now. I think what it is, we might need to get some emery cloth and sand down in there. All right, so we got our window going up and down, but as you can see, it keep kind of catching in areas and it's really kind of slow. We're gonna try to fix that. It's still catching in that one spot, and I'm not sure why, which it might be not fixable. I mean, but I'm gonna try my best to get it to where it's right. All right, so we got our butt connectors all put on, our grounds secured. All right, so we got everything put back in. Power windows, everything is routed. This is for your power locks. This is your stock speaker wire. We're running aftermarket amp and wire, so that's what that is. Power locks, we noticed power locks ain't working, but we're thinking it's the switch, because if you notice, it don't click, and they should click. So we had a spare switch, so we're gonna try hooking that up and seeing if that fixes it. So what we need to do now is probably test voltage going to here, or it could be, you know, the deal inside of here that controls the power lock. What we could probably do is check voltage on these, see, you know, if we're getting power when we're hitting the switch, but currently we're not. All right, so this is your power lock wire. I think we're coming up with, we got a broken wire somewhere, because we'll plug in, it ain't getting no power. We shoved this right in here, as soon as move your hand there. So as soon as he hits that switch right off the connector, we're getting power. We're grounding just to the door right now. Now let's try. We ain't got nothing. So, diagnosis, broken wire. So right there, we got power right out of this connector. So what we're gonna do probably is cut somewhere right in here, and then tomorrow or tonight we might run all new wiring, make our own new wiring harness, cut this pigtail right about there, and then butt connector, all new wiring. Then hopefully our power locks work, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
The next day, and we are trying to get the we got the wiring all done on this door, and we're trying to figure out now why it won't shut. And I think I have a pretty good idea. It's weird, it will not shut whatsoever. And here is our door latch. It don't seem to want to go over this. All right, so figured it out. We got it shutting. So I took the little latch piece off that cab out there. I did not know that there was a difference. There's the two side by side, which shuts flawlessly now. Like, don't have to slam it at all, and it's in there. Like, I'm yanking on it as hard as I can, and it ain't coming out. Opens good, shuts good. So that's all that matters. We were running into a problem where the windows, every now and then, you would like shake, the dash would move, or any wiring down here would move, the power windows would quit working. And so now we got everything working again, power locks, power windows. What it was the main fuse plug for the power windows, which it's out right now. I kind of wired it back in because you gotta have it spliced back in to run your AC controls. The power window fuse runs your AC controls and your power windows, so that's why if you notice here, there's two wires ran into it, so it powers back into that, but this is what's powering our power windows. So we shouldn't have a problem with our power windows no more. We can shake that, everything still works, be way more reliable. It was working like 90% of the time, but I know my luck, I'd get into a rainstorm and then my windows would quit working, especially when you introduce rain into this little nightmare here. I would have had problems. So now you can shake it, everything still works. So it's a couple days later. We've been so busy the past couple days, we haven't been able to finish this video. So we're gonna finally get to finish this. This has been a long video and a lot of work that has gone into this, because this truck wasn't a power truck and we made it a power truck. We're nowhere near done, but we got our door panels. This is temporary, but we just this is how they had them held before, was with the screws. So we're not done by no means yet. We got a lot of work left to do, but currently all our power windows, all of our power locks, power mirrors, everything is working in this truck right now. Even got the cargo light working. All the lights are working on this truck. So electrically, this truck is pretty sound. The headliner done. We got the door panels done with all the power windows and locks working. So all right, well, we're gonna call this good on this video, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It took a lot of time to get this done because we swapped the doors and everything, so this was a lot of work, a lot of electrical wiring, getting this to work. So all right, we'll catch you in the next one.